Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Leonidas G with another video. This time I'll be doing an in-depth video about Spacelords and why I stopped playing Spacelords. Now, I was the one that jumped right in when the game came out on PS4 as a free-to-play. Unfortunately, it was not really a free-to-play. It only had the first mission. The other chapters have to be bought. So, you know, that immediately sent out red flags to everyone. Once they finally made it fully free, you just open the missions by leveling up. Fine, I went back in, but then I found out the last chapter was, you know, I started level 50 and the last mission of the last chapter was level 97, which meant to me that I had to do the entire game all over again. And you know, at that point and other issues that happened, I just stopped playing. Now, I did a video about these issues where I mainly stressed 3 problems that the game had that it should be fixed. Now, the number 1 problem was the low rewards that we got. The second one was there was no private matchmaking and the progression system was very grindy. And the third one was the antagonist. They did patch up some of these things. Some were good and some were bad. Now, coming back to rewards, they introduced the monthly reward and the login reward, sorry. The monthly reward works by completing the mission. You get a score. That score accumulates to a pool, and that pool, as you progress through those levels, you get rewards. The thing is, to get to the high rewards, you have to play as a raider and as an antagonist, and have a perfect score of 10 point something in each mission, which I don't think happens. I don't think they should do this, you know. They should allow to reach the top tier, the last rewards, by maybe making each mission having a score of 7 or 8. So that way a person that plays really good as a raider just, you know, gets 10s and reaches those high rewards, or a person that plays really good as an antagonist gets 10s and gets to high rewards. To have, you know, a player be expert as a raider and as an antagonist in every mission to get that last reward, to me, is putting it really out of reach. The second thing they did about rewards was that they introduced the login reward. The login reward does not instantly drop the moment you log in. It's kind of, you know, it drops in a pool, and then you can maybe not play that day, then log in the next day and the next day, and then when you make a quick play, then you get that entire pool, which I think accumulates to 5 days. That accumulated pool, you get that reward. I would prefer to get the login reward as we log in. That's the name of the thing. It's a login reward, but they decided to make like a login pool, which, you know, it's just different. We do get a lot more gold now with a monthly reward. You can buy a new character and customize at least 1 or 2 weapons, so it's good. In that way, it's good. I'm not really thrilled about playing as an antagonist, but it's okay. Now, the second thing I talked about was the private matchmaking and the progress. They did lower the stats for the progress. Now, the last mission, the last chapter, opens at level 47 and not 97, which is really good. The thing is, that doesn't really make people knowledgeable about the game, because what I think would happen was you open the mission, you try out the mission in solo with which raider you like, which weapon you like, you know, just trying to figure out how the mission is in that sense. And then after you complete 5 missions, then you go into online matchmaking, because what happens many times is that you go into the mission, you don't know what to do, and you might have taken the wrong character or the wrong weapon, which did happen to me when I finally defeated the boss on the last mission of the last chapter. I took Loath, but I took the wrong weapon, so it took me forever just to get the perfect shot on his back, because he has several items that you need to destroy, and because I had the wrong weapon, it took me forever to get that. Now, one thing that does happen if you're on an online matchmaking and it happens to find no one, it does offer the chance to do it solo. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you any rewards for it. You know, just like you did a mission, great, you get some experience, but other than that. And I was like, why don't they make it a feature? Why don't they have private matchmaking? You know, I could make it solo, I can make it with 1 buddy, 2 buddies, and that way I can just progress through the game a lot faster, have enjoyment a lot faster, than just having, you know, having to deal with antagonists, the first, which are the biggest nuisance, or maybe people that don't know how to play the game. There's certain missions that you have to know, have a really good coordination, and if people don't know what to do or what their teammates are trying to do, everything just falls apart. Also, MMR is kind of still of a joke, because they say, oh, the high MMR will give you better rewards. It's not true. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've done missions where the MMR was like level 20, but because we did it so fast, you know, everybody was just coordinated, everybody was just on point, we get better rewards than doing a high mission, well, let's say level 30, MMR's 30, but because we took longer, the rewards were smaller. And this was the same mission that we're doing. So yeah, in that sense, I don't really trust MMR. I think if you have a high MMR and you do it fast, then yes, okay. But other than that, no. The last one I want to talk about is about the antagonist. Now, this is my greatest concern, and it was what brought me to, ultimately led me not to play the game. I think the antagonist should be a separate feature. I really, really do. I don't like the thing where you mix PvP and PvE all in the same thing. I think this is like the Division Dark Zone. If you are familiar with that, the Dark Zone was a place where you were an agent, but you could become rogue and kill other agents. This is kind of what the antagonist does, you know, enters the mission to kill you. But it was so badly viewed on that game, on the Division, that they ultimately changed it on the Division 2. I think it's one of those cases of don't do unto others what you don't want done to you. If I'm playing as a raider and an antagonist drops in, you know, if we're really strong, it doesn't really make a difference. But if he's really good, it just disrupts the mission a lot. And in some points, the aggro, or depending on what character he brings as an antagonist, I know that it's going to be a fail. I mean, we can do a lot of things, but unless he logs off, we're going to be there either 30 to 40 minutes, maybe longer, or we're just going to fail the mission. And I don't like that. I don't like that, and I don't like that the game tells me that I have to do that to other people. If you want to get those high rewards on the monthly reward, then you got to go at an antagonist and, you know, be a troll, essentially be a troll to other players, which, you know, with certain characters and certain levels is really easy to do. On others, not. Also, you have to account on the aggro. They did some changes with it. You can now command the aggro to do some certain to point to certain objectives or certain players. But ultimately, I see this as a skew from the developers to this being an antagonist game. Also, the solution that they found, because people taking too long finding the antagonist, just cut lives from the raiders, which I think was just ridiculous. I mean, why doesn't the antagonist have like a timer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do certain kills, and then he just leaves? If he ends up wiping us all out, then he gets a bonus. That's it. That's how we do it. If you're not going to separate, if you're not going to do an arena where, you know, you have 4 against 4 or 1 against 4 or something like that, which was on the roadmap at the beginning of, I think, last year. Also, on top of all this, there's also the minor things that they added and removed. For instance, they added the Haleth locations, which I think actually makes sense in the lore of the game because this is a Haleth planet. But, you know, enemies can camp there, players can camp there, antagonists can camp there, and I've even seen enemies with Haleth jump off a cliff to kill themselves just so we won't get the Haleth. This was an addition that they did, but there's also a lot of things that came before that they still haven't fixed. One of these things is you still fall off cliffs, which I don't think makes any sense. I mean, this game has limited lives. Other games, Destiny, Warframe, Division, if you fall off somewhere, you just respawn. That's it. But not in this game. If you fall off something, you lose a life. If you're left without ammo and you get killed when you revive, you still have no ammo, which is at this point just ridiculous. I mean, most games fix this. I mean, even Wolfenstein, the last one that came out, had this problem, this exact same problem, and they fixed it. They patched it up. Spacelords still hasn't done that. Also, the radar still sucks. I mean, the radar is on the position of the radar is not optimal. It's in the lower part of the screen. It should be in front, so we can easily see, you know, when we're shooting at something, If something red appears on the radar, we immediately take notice. The UI is also, should be changed by now. It's on the front of the screen, on the lower part. I still look at the yellow bar and think it's my health. It's not. My health bar is a number, my ammunition is another number, and they're both in the same level. I still get confused with that. So yeah, this is why I stopped. This is why I think the game has absolutely no reviews in most great outlets of the internet. And the player count in this game still hasn't gone up. The game has been out like for almost a year since they made it full free to play, and the game is still struggling. This game is still around 100 players, maybe 90, maybe 120. This is on Steam. This is on Steam chart, which I check regularly. Yeah, the only way I'm ever coming back to this game is that if either release a new chapter, because like I said, I did the last mission. That's what I really wanted to do, was I wanted to complete the campaign of the game, and I did that. I'm satisfied with that, but I'm only going to return to this game if they remove the antagonist or make it like a separate mode, or maybe a 4 against 1 mode, or maybe an arena mode or something like that. Or if they introduce a new chapter, then I'll come back to see what it is. But other than that, I don't feel like playing Spacelords, and that's a real shame, because the game is really good, could be way better, could have tons and tons of players, but as is, no. And this, my friends, is why I stopped playing Spacelords. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a great game, guys.